Welcome to Comfy Cozy Up. So this is day 25. Yeah, so technically this is the last day of Vlogmas, but not for this channel. I'm doing December daily, so there's a video every day in December. So we got 6 more to go. So let me grab my notes book. So there's 6 more to go, so just come back every day, same time, and we'll be talking more about books and journaling and goals and favorites and all that good stuff. Now today is also the first day of a journal mood, so I'm excited for that. So follow me over on Instagram, and if you don't have the calendar, you can get it on the blog as well. But I'll be more active on Instagram as well as my TikTok for the next 6 days, where it's mostly going to be a lot of journaling, and of course there's some favorite books posts and all that will be there as well. But we are in a journal mood, the end of the year, 7 days, theme, ownership, so there are words that's dedicated to the theme. So I'm looking forward to seeing everybody's posts and what everybody's going to share. And again, if you are not a social media person, that's okay, but just let me know that, hey, I am going to be doing the 7-day journal mood as well, just not sharing it on social media, and that is fine as well. I just want to know who, all the people who are, participating. So also, it's Christmas. I'm cooking. I'm all glammed up, guys, but I'm in the kitchen cooking. So this here goes in a bun and I will be back downstairs in about 30 minutes to check on the food. So with that, I'm excited. My niece and nephews are here. Yesterday was very dramatic. When I say dramatic, last minute holiday shopping. It is freezing cold. If you're in New York, you know it's been Arctic and windy, and we did the whole last minute shopping situation, and my youngest niece got hot because she had so much clothes on because it's so cold outside, without really thinking, maybe we should have undo her a little bit. Got overheated, passed out. Needless to say, we end up in hospital. But she's fine, she's home, she's back to normal. But it was just like not on Christmas Eve. So, but that was our dramatic Christmas Eve. But other than that, it's been very relaxing. My family is just so quiet. It is literally about 11 o'clock, I believe, and not one person, and I mean not one person, has opened up the gift. I did surprise my niece with one of the gifts that I just put on her pillow. She has several gifts under the tree for me, but the junk journal that I made that you guys saw, I put that on her pillow. She turned around and saw it and she loved it. And I gave my mom her earrings, but her other gift is wrapped under the tree. But my family are not, they don't care about gifts. I like that, but I also think sometimes it's strange where I see people get so excited about opening gifts. My family could care less. That gift under the tree probably was going to be there until 5-6 o'clock in the evening. I kid you not, before anybody opens those, because they don't care. which I appreciate, because I could, that they're not materialistic people. But it's just so funny to me, and I watch everyone family get excited, and my family's like, oh, you got me a gift, thank you, and then keep it moving, that kind of deal. I think they're more excited about the food and the games that we're gonna try and do later, but that's about it. So in this video, I thought, what genre I want to talk about that I haven't scheduled, and this one I thought about was the least read genre this year that surprised me, because these are genres I don't read a lot of normally, but I would have had at least 3 or 4 minimum books that I've read from this genre, and it didn't happen this year. So we're gonna start with nonfiction. This was probably the worst year for me for nonfiction. I typically read a lot of nonfiction, not a lot, but at least I think last year I had 5. An average of 4. 2, guys, 2. Now in reality it's 2, but I did read quite a few fiction that was inspired by true stories. So when I look at those, it's like, okay, maybe I should count those a little bit, because technically those were inspired by real people, real storyline. That, you know, when you think of Booth, when you think of Sister Mother Warrior, when you think of Colette, when you think of even the historical fiction The Palace Daughter, when you think of quite a few others, the Black Shack Alley, it is loosely based on the author's family. So there's quite a few books that were inspired by real events, real characters, but none of the ones, none of them are considered non-fiction, because there are fiction to make the story work. Versus these two are strictly non-fiction. These are, in essence, memoirs from the author. And the first one I want to talk about is I Take My Coffee Black by Tyler Merritt. And this one, I thought this was one of those guys that is just so corny, but he's funny in a way. Like, he's so corny that you have to laugh, because that's how bad it was, where I'm like, oh, he's so corny, but at the same time he's interested. And with this one, I thought he's telling the story of living in Vegas, his how his parents' job and the kind of role that his parents were in that was like not popular for an African American person to be in, and how he saw that, his dating experience, dating outside his race, his how he coped with, you know, living in an area where he was like the only one, or one of the very few people of his color that is in that school. I thought it was an interesting one. It wasn't blow my mind, but it was still interesting. It's just how he tells the story. Like, I'm laughing because I'm like, oh, he's such a corny person, but then at the same time I'm thinking I still would sit there and listen to him. And I think that says a lot about a person who personality is quirky, but also has a pleasant thing about them. The next one I read was A Memoir of an Island Girl, my short story to America, and this is Quatisha Hutt. Now I read this, it felt more like journal entry, which I like in nonfiction memoir, because oftentimes I don't read a lot of nonfiction sometimes because I get bored. Sometimes I feel like the person's dragged the story too much. But I like when it's done in journal style, where you're just highlighting, you're giving the reader the important moments in your life, the moments that meant a lot to you, the moments that may have changed you. And in this you get that. You get the journey and why she left Trinidad and why she went through several locations before Brooklyn was home. How and what happened to her when she becomes a mother. And the results of that. So I thought this was an interesting one again, but this was one of those ones where I still wanted more. It was short, and I felt like there was so much in this that I wanted to know, but it just still reminded me of Caribbean grandparents. Sorry, but that's probably gonna happen a lot, and I can't reach the phone right now. Sorry about that. There's like you know, your grandparents and your parents who hold on to their past and not want to share it, and I really love when grandparents are able to let go of that and share, no matter how some of the struggle might have been unpleasant. I think it's a part of the generation history. It's a part of knowing what your parents or grandparents went through, that that you can help you in your own struggles and your own desire and journey in life. And those things are still important, even though one is entitled to keep certain things. But I think for your offspring, for your generation, you know, some things you should share as a learning lesson, as something to give back and say, hey, I've been through this, I pushed through this, so you can do whatever you want. That kind of idea. That's what I'm getting in my head. So I'm still going through the motion with my own, you know, information from my grandparents and my mother even. There's a lot I'm still learning, a lot she's still sharing with me because I'm older now. So, and I treasure those information that she does slowly pour out to me. Sometimes I wish I knew some of this information earlier, but it's okay. I'm glad she's still sharing, even though I feel like she could share more if you're watching this, mother. And then the other genre, I only read one book, even though I felt like there were at least 2 other books that were quite frankly YA that was kind of tweaked to make it become a quote-unquote adult based on the language and adding some kind of sexual content. But if I look at my list and what the publisher stamp on it, there was only one YA I read, which was one I read recently, which was What the Fireflies Knew. I'm gonna say no. What am I saying? Classic. I did read one more. Sorry, it is 2 I read, and that is Black Shat Alley. That is a YA. The story follows a young boy, and so yeah, there's 2. So so I actually did 2. I forgot that was a YA. Every time I think of that, I'm so stuck on that being such a classic, because it is a classic, that I forgot that is. Also, wow, no, 3, another classic, Sounder. I read Sounder. Wow. Yeah, I put it all in my classic section, but I forgot that is also a YA. Alright, so yes, Black Shat Alley is YA, and Sounder is also considered a YA, which I read back in February. But it's a classic. It's a modern classic. But the story is surrounds a young boy and his family saga. I did also watch the movie for this one. This is a really good book that I think a lot of people definitely should pick up if you've never read Sounder. I recommend the book. Again, this is another one where movie adaptation went totally wrong for me, because I felt like they added things that only antagonize people that wasn't in the book. And I think a lot of people thought the author is the one that did that for the movie, but it's not. The actual manuscript for the movie was written by a black man. So this one was one of those ones where the author wasn't the one that stirred the pot, but got blamed for it. So I had to do research on that, because I wanted to know who did the manuscript on this, who wrote the screenplay. So, and yeah, but that is a YA. So technically 3. I'm good with that. I'm good with that. Okay, so that wasn't as bad as I thought, as far as, yeah. And that's it. That's the only 3, yeah, that is technically our young adult, yeah. So, other than that, for next year, I don't think it's going to change as much. I do know on Instagram, someone is doing a challenge of reading 20 nonfiction. I will fail. I'm just going to tell you, I will fail flat on my face. I would never be able to read 20 nonfiction unless I'm torturing myself. I am not a big nonfiction fan. I find that you have to be really good storyteller to make me enjoy your nonfiction. So that challenge, when I saw it, I said I could have pushed myself for maybe 10, because I've done 5. I think I've done the most I've ever done is 6. But 20 nonfiction in a year? No, no. That's a no for me. For those of you who are able to easily do a lot of nonfiction, I commend you, but I am not that person. I've never been that kind of reader that can sit there and read that many nonfiction and not get bored, because a lot of nonfiction books to me are boring. Boring. Like, or if, especially celebrity ones, I feel some of them are giving you what you already know. Why am I reading this book? I already know all of this. What, you're not giving me nothing else. You get that too. Or you get some who are overdoing it in the books to get a shock value when that's not even the case. Absolutely not. So 20? No. Yeah. I'm gonna end this with that. YA, I can still maintain my 4 or 5, between 4 and 5. There's quite a few YA next year that I'm interested in, that I am definitely going to attempt to read for next year. I saw some of the releases and I'm like, I can see myself reading that. I can see myself reading that kind of deal. So the YA I may be able to do a lot more than normal, but 3 this year, not mad about that. So that is it. But let me know, guys, what is your least read genre this year, and is it a normal for you to not read that much from that genre, or you just gravitated to another genre more than normal this year? Let me know. So let's talk about it. So anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoy your family time. If you see this after Christmas, I hope you had a good Christmas. Also, there's other holidays starting tomorrow. I think, what did we have Kwanzaa. But I think currently Hanukkah is almost over. But you know, there's other holidays going on. So I hope you guys are enjoying however you celebrate the end of the year. And journal with me. Journal with me. All right.